Hey everybody, so here's another Makerbot update. I did my first print last night, which was this handle right there. It came out pretty well, but it showed a couple issues. One of them was the temperature setting, and that's a little why this is so ragged right now. But the guy at Crash Space, Theron, definitely agreed that this is pretty rocking for a first piece. There are very few problems. The piece didn't pull off the platform at all while it was printing. And this is definitely a good indicator for how it's going to go from here on out. A little bit of an acetone wash, a little sanding, a little putty. If I wanted, I could definitely make that a really nice piece, but right now that's certainly good enough for what it does, which is to help control the Z-axis here as a little bit of a spinner. Now, one modification I made last night after I got home, and you might be able to see it in the reflections here, is I put this clear plastic onto each of the open windows. This is going to help control the temperature overall inside the booth. That's definitely one of the most important things, is temperature. So if I had like a fan blowing around or something like that, then that would definitely cool a piece. You got to keep it as warm as possible as long as you can. So blocking off all these walls should definitely help out. I wouldn't mind putting something on top. This is also going to control the dust factor as well. This was excuse me, this was sitting around for a couple weeks, and the Z platform, which is the clear plexiglass going across the middle. Sorry about that there, the battery died. So the Z platform had gotten a bit of a coating of dust on there, and having all these areas closed off is definitely going to help on that. I want to keep the interior here as contaminant free as possible. So I will be requiring some kind of dome up here. Not a dome, but some kind of blocker. And right now what I've got is I'm going for my second printed piece. So I've got the temperature. It's been holding steady around 230 Celsius. Got to line everything up here, do a couple tests. There's a little bit of plastic goo coming off the extruder right now. Got to clean that up and determine what I am going to print. Here is the program itself. Let's do a little bit of a white balance here. Okay, so here is the main program control. This is the control panel itself, and from here we can control the platform and the extruder. Alright, so the motor speed, we'll be setting that in a little bit. Right now the motor itself is what draws the plastic through the whole body. And you may recall that, let's see if I can find it here. A while ago I created this spindle, and there's a few problems with it, but the idea is relatively sound. I got to do some modifications, but what I'll be working with here is just this simple device I also created in the last few hours, which is a pizza pan with styrene walls on a Lazy Susan. This moves really nice and easy, and basically as this spools out it will spin around. I'll be keeping an eye on it though, of course, because that is an important thing that will need to be done. So the next thing I'll be printing is some more parts pieces, basically. So replacement parts and a couple other utility sort of devices. I'll set the camera up and we'll go from there, and I'll see you in a second. Alright, so the first print will be hand soloing carbonite. I had to scale it down to fit it on the platform. It should work out pretty well. Temperature's been holding pretty solid, and I think we're just about ready. So as you can see, I've got the plastic set up here. There's still a little bit of the white left in the top here, so I'm going to start printing with that. I need to get a couple of tools, make sure I'm ready here. Tweezers is definitely an important one to pull all that plastic goo off. So that's just what's melting out of there as we speak. And let me set the camera up and we'll get going. So before you can go printing anything, as you can see, I've got Solo down there sitting on the platform, and right now the software is generating the toolpath. So what it's doing is slicing the object up, setting fill ratios, sizes, coordinates, and all that kind of thing. And we'll take a look at the code itself in a few minutes when this is all done. It could take definitely a few minutes for this to go, and the build could be half an hour, hour, or more. So let's catch up in a second. So here's one important factor. You see all these lights going on here. Those are the stepper motor controllers, and they're activated. What this does, obviously apart from putting power to the motors, one of which is down here, another right here, and the third one is right down in there. This is making them hot, and they're not going anywhere. So you gotta head over to the control panel and just hit disable, and the lights go off. Let me show you that there. Enable and disable. So this helps keep them cool for a while until you really need them. Overheating, if you let them go for like half an hour, hour or more, I'm told that you could burn them out just sitting there doing nothing. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And it looks like the code here is done. So what we're going to do here is we should just have a build command, and we don't. And there should be another tab, so it could be that when I went to hit the disable here that I deactivated the code. So let's just rebuild it again here and see how this goes. So you can see down here it's carving things up. Alright, so once the code finishes, you get this new window here, and what we'll do is let's check our height real quick. On the Z-axis, this needs to go straight down to the bottom. There we go. And as the plastic disappears there, I'll feed in the black, and we'll get gray for a while. That's cool though. And let's go up here to G-code and hit build. Alright, so Han Solo and Carbonite failed generating the G-code. So I'll have to look into that at some other time, but let's see what the doctor has to say. Okay, so toolpath generation is complete, and the difference here is that this little button here says G-code. So once that is done, here is the controls for everything. This is what, let me get some focus for you there, sorry about that. So this is what the TARDIS looks like to this program. A lot of coordinates, speeds, movement, and this just goes on and on and on. So what we do now is all these buttons here are lit up at the top. Where are we? There we go. This one is build. So what we'll do here is reset the white balance. Okay, so what we do here is get rid of the little bit of crap from the plastic. We will RTZ the coordinates. We've got a steady temperature of 230 Celsius. The motor speed is set at 235. That does build up fast, doesn't it? So let's hit build. Got a control panel open here. Let's see if I can grab this out of here fast. So it's clearly thinking. Estimated time is 1 hour 20 minutes. The heater is warming up and it will do a test extrusion. Oh yeah, look at that going on there. So I will hit yes and yank this away.